Welcome to Thinking Outside the Soil with your host, Johnny Alfalfaseed, where we get to talk story and touch on topics about hydroponics and the farmers who grow the crops and creatures we need to eat. Good morning, and happy day from the farm. Thank you for being with us on this beautiful morning. Today is the first day of spring, or what we call the Vernal Equinox, and I am getting ready for spring like many of us, and that means I'm preparing for tomato season and getting cuttings ready for a greenhouse and your greenhouse out there. If you want the best tomatoes you've ever tasted, they taste just like candy. I've got this really great variety that we're getting ready to plant out, and as the nurseries come alive, we are joining the parade. And today I wanted to just talk a little bit about how hydroponics has given us a huge benefit, and then thinking about the equinox today. Spring is here, and that officially means that many are preparing for the season's planting. And I wonder, what if, as a farmer, you didn't have to worry so much about the seasons? Hydroponics is a way to grow plants without soil, and it can be done without the worry of the weather or changing light conditions. And light's really important because it's the light that mostly makes plants grow, though the climate must also cooperate. I wonder, how can this vernal equinox inspire farmers to adopt hydroponics? And how are the two even related? But real quick, since I gotcha, if you could be so kind as to leave a review. We are beginning this season 2 today with the vernal equinox and going to change the show format just a bit. So I would love to hear what you've thought so far and what you might like to see going forward as well. So the equinoxes and hydroponics have a connection, especially when you think about sunlight and how plants grow. Here in Colorado, like other places, the equinox happens twice a year, around March 20th, which is actually today, and sometime around the same time in September. So it's during these times that the Earth isn't tilted toward or isn't tilted away from the sun, which means there is about 12 hours of daylight and 12 hours of nighttime. Soil farmers here in Colorado and elsewhere know that the equinoxes show when the seasons change, showing and giving us the sunlight that we might need for our crops. So, for example, the days are going to get longer from spring equinox to fall equinox, meaning there's more sunlight for photosynthesis. But then again, the days get shorter between fall equinox and the spring equinox, so crops have less sunlight. And for our southern hemisphere people listening in to this episode, happy equinox to you down there. Your winter is coming in, so your days are getting shorter. And it's hydroponics that could help you down there and reminds us that it's a way to grow plants without soil, and it can be done inside or outside. And it also means that we can control the environment, including how much light the plants get. Now, artificial lighting allows hydroponic growers to always have light that the plants can use regardless of the season. And that controlled environment lets the plants grow all year. So hydroponic systems don't have to worry as much about these seasonal changes and the natural light cycles that come with all of our equinoxes. Now, how does the vernal equinox, or the equinoxes in general, affect us chicken farmers, or even us aquaponic chicken farmers? It's after the spring equinox that the days get longer, which means that the hens begin to lay more eggs. That's awesome for all of us. The light is here. It also means that many of the chickens in molt will cease chickens stop losing their feathers and they'll start to grow and keep their new ones for this warmer weather. Conversely, they may go into molt starting around this time for those in the southern hemisphere. Now, when we get longer days, the heat stays, and hens want to sit on their eggs and hatch them, which will affect our egg production. And we'll also see farmers getting, or rather, chickens getting broody. Farmers may get broody as well, but they will see that this is also an increased time in fertility. So any with roosters will start to see egg production affected as well as the daylight increases. There's also a lot more food outside for chickens to eat. So anyone that free ranges chickens or pastures chickens, we are going to get an advantage because they will start foraging for those insects and the other little plants that happen to be out there, which makes them happier and healthier and helps control some of our food costs inadvertently. Now the heat's going to it's going to increase, and that means as the sun stays longer, we need to make sure that the coops that we're using have enough airflow, that they can stay cool, they don't get too hot. Here in Colorado, we can have 100 plus days for multiple days in a row in northern Colorado, so it will affect how things are done. And in other areas, it gets significantly hotter. So make sure that as it's moving into spring and summer, we're being mindful of how we're building coops to adjust for this coming heat. And as the light rises and stays longer, it also means that predators are getting more active. They are also doing what many of us do. Their fertility is increasing. So us chicken farmers need to make sure that our coops and our runs and elsewhere are safe from the different predators that we have out there. So in short, hydroponic systems can help us deal with the changes in the seasons, specifically the changes in sunlight caused by these equinoxes. And we can do that by using artificial lighting and controlled environments, which allow plants to grow all year long. And at the same time, the spring equinox affects chickens in several ways, from the egg production to fertility to all of the predator potential around. As farmers, we must know that these changes occur seasonally, and it allows us to keep our chickens as healthy and happy as possible. If you have any questions about hydroponics or chickens in general, don't hesitate to reach out about your flock. So that is all I have for us today. If you want to know more about how hydroponic fodder is helping farmers save water, improve livestock quality, and become better stewards, head on over to thinkingoutsidethesoil.com and check out my book. There is also some goodies on that page and some in the link below. So before you go, check those out. Thank you for being with us on another episode of Thinking Outside the Soil. Take care and have a lovely day. Hey, before you go, check out the links below. And if you'd be so kind as to leave a rating and review and follow the show. For those with feathered friends, don't forget to get yourself some of our Blooming Health Farms Chicken Blend Sprouting Mix. This supplemental mix has been shown to give you some of the best eggs with the yummiest yolks. You'll have happy, healthy hens that abandon the feeder and give you eggs with high levels of vitamin A and omega fatty acids. So don't forget to get yourself some Blooming Health Farms Chicken Blend Sprouting Mix.